Purcell with the Theotek podcast, and we want to welcome you. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to have some fun tonight talking about some favorite things and a few app demos and that sort of thing. But before we jump right into that, I want to say welcome to our regulars. Antoine is in the house. How you doing, Antoine?
Hello.
What you been up to
How's it
lately?
going?
Playing with the iPad, huh?
Playing with my iPad Pro, enjoying the utter mess out of it, looking at this Canvas Pro Smart Desk, aka a TV tray for your iPad Pro.
Okay.
You could show that during your favorite things.
Sure.
Yeah, even though he hasn't used it yet. Is it something that you're looking at? You don't actually have one, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Rick, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Looks like you're back at home. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, I'm back at home.
After some
and,
travels and
yes. So I should be here for a while. And then I think mid-June, I'm heading to Asia for a month for Accordance.
yeah, I was real disappointed that you're not going to be in Charlotte at the beginning of June for that accordance training at my alma mater,
Yeah.
Gordon Conwell Theological Seminary's Charlotte campus, since Charlotte's just down the road from me. But anyway, because of that, I probably won't go.
Well, you should go anyway. You should go anyway. Yeah, I don't think my wife would let me do that since I'm going to be gone from middle of June to middle of July.
Okay. Well, this is the Theotek podcast, and we talk about church and Bible technology, or just general technology as it relates to using it with church and Bible situations. And we want to demo an app here in just a minute, but while we get that set up, we're going to start with some favorite things, and I'm going to try to get this going here. Let's see. You know what? I forgot I didn't have this set up, so how do I set up my... I've never done this through QuickTime. How do you... Maybe we should let you, Rick, get going first. I'm trying to set up QuickTime to show my screen.
No, you need a lightning cable.
Yeah, I've got it plugged in and I've got it selected, but it's not showing it.
Then go. I don't have it open in front of me, but go up to the File menu and choose New. It's whatever the first recording is.
New movie recording.
Yeah, and then it'll probably first show you a picture of yourself through your computer's camera, but then choose the other one.
Right. Thank you. I learned something. See, we just taught you something.
Yeah, there you go.
On the recording today, or on the show today, we've just taught you how to do a...
I've discovered that reflector is better.
Yeah, I probably should have just gone with that, but I'm going to do this instead. What I'm showing is this is a really great tool that I've been playing with. It's called the Ricoh Theta S, and the reason I'm showing you my screen is I'm connected to it. I'm going to open up the app. Oh, it disconnected on me. Well, let's see here. I'll just have to reconnect it. What you have to do is you go into Wi-Fi, and it has to be broadcasting its Wi-Fi, which it's not anymore. That's what happened. And live demos never work the way you hope they do. So I'm just going to start off and turn it back on again. There we go. I found it, and I'm now connected to it. You can see that, right, guys?
Yep.
All right. And so now I will...
I don't know what you're doing, but I can see it.
Here's the app. This is the Ricoh Theta app. And the cool thing about this is I'm doing this so that you can get kind of a live view of what this phone sees. Here I am in all my glory, but it's got two lenses that show a 360-degree image. And you can hit this button right here that I've just taken a picture with it, and then you close out that part of it, and it's not showing the picture. Well, let me just show you ones that it has already. I used this earlier today to take a photo of my church, the front of my church. And so notice it's now a 360-degree photo with one touch, one
Wow.
tap of the button, and it's got decent image quality. It's not great. For example, if I zoom in on the sign, you see that sign over there is a little bit fuzzy. But notice and it is a little fuzzy like this, but the cool thing is you can get a shot like that. I mean, that just kind of looks cool, I think.
Hmm.
And then open it up, and you can share it. And now, if I want, I can share it to Facebook or Twitter using the app. The other cool thing is, if you go in here to the photos, take this same shot. This is one I did. I edited it to make it look black and white. I'm going to twist that. But if you... Oh, it's because I've already edited that one. It doesn't let you edit it again. I'm not doing a very good demonstration of this.
That's a freaky demo, but that's really cool. How does it compare to like Photosphere on Google Android devices, or I forgot the name of PhotoSynth on Windows Phone?
Well,
those all do 360-degree photos on the mobile.
Yeah, here's the benefit, and then I'll tell you the drawback. The benefit is that, and again, I'm just having a hard time finding what I really wanted to show you. For example, here's our senior adult
That's really trippy.
dinner. See, it's looking strange. I don't know why they're looking like this. They've never looked like this. It's because I'm trying to do it as a live demo. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and show you. Here's what the camera looks like. Okay, and of course it has a thread on the bottom that you can use it with a tripod mount, just every ordinary tripod mount. What I've been using is my mini GorillaPod to get the shots that I've been doing, and then I will show you. Let me go get to my Facebook so you can see what the product looks like when you actually post one of these images. But they're just some really cool looking images. It's more of a novelty, fun thing. If you're wanting like really high quality photos, this is not your thing. But if you're wanting some really neat looking shots with an image that you're not going to get anywhere else, that's the cool part of it.
That's neat. I did a lot of the photosphere stuff when I was in the Netherlands a few falls ago, and I really thought, that vantage point, that 360 vantage point, there's a really neat opportunity there to kind of be immersed in the whole environment. Have you found that the same way for folks that are responding to some of the pictures that you've already done?
Yeah, I think what it does is people look at it and I was kind of focused on what I'm doing, so I didn't fully hear all that what you said. But people look at these images, and it grabs your attention in a way that just an ordinary photo can't grab. This image is a cropped image that I got from the editing app I was just trying to show you, taken from this image. And the 360 image is on the Theta 360 website. So here's the shot that you take. Okay, you can zoom out, and then the editor has a way that it will take this and then it'll crop it and get rid of that barrel distortion that comes from being such a high, such a wide frame, and that's how I got that image. Okay, and then what I did was I posted a black and white version of that on our church's website as the church's what do you call the big photo up here? You guys there?
Yeah.
Okay. What is this one called?
We're captivated.
Thing. This is the what photo? What do they call that thing?
The banner photo?
Yeah, cover photo. That's what it is. Anyway. So, And then here's another one from today, earlier today. The it takes a while. We had a senior adult lunch, and see, here's the other thing is you see where the camera's at, because you're looking from the camera, and I'm controlling the camera with my phone, so it's got remote control feature built into it, and that's how I take all the photos that I take. With these others from the church, you notice I'm not in these photos, and so what I did is I hid over here behind, this corner. I hid behind there so that you couldn't see me while I'm taking the photo, so that I can, get this shot. But it also does video. Let's see if I can find a video that I shot down a long time ago. If I can find it.
Have you told us the price on this?
No, I have not. In fact, let's go to the Ricoh website, because to be honest with you, I cannot remember the price on it. It's not cheap, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
The Theta S, which is the newest model, is, I want to say $299. And so it says buy, but then you have to. I hate that. Websites are stupid. Just show me the stupid. At $349. I got it with $50 off deal that was going when I bought it, so it was a lot cheaper.
And what's the difference between those two?
The difference between these two is this one. Well, first of all, the length of video, up to 3 minutes in length on this one, whereas the one that I have is up to 25 minutes. This one says you can do live streaming. That is in a either just recently released update that I haven't installed yet, or in a coming update very soon, because I can't get it to work. I've tried, and the way they tell you to do it, it doesn't work. And so I wasn't really wanting to do it for the live streaming anyway, but I could see where that would be cool. If you're streaming an event and you want people to have sort of that 360-degree experience of it. Be quiet. Someone calling me back because I called them earlier, and anyway, so I don't know. I think this is the funnest, most fun that I've had with a camera in a long time.
Now, if you're using a VR helmet, can you turn in any direction and see?
Yes, I have posted on.
Because we're basically looking at a 2D view that's moving around, but if you're in a if you're in a virtual environment, I think that'd be the way to do it.
Yeah, and that's actually the reason, because I've got a Gear VR now, and so what I said was, I would love to be able to create video for this thing, and so here's the video that I made. And notice it's got you can tell a 3D spherical video because it has these controls up here on a YouTube.
I tried to watch that video right there because I was looking at your YouTube feed, and it wouldn't play it on my iPad.
It wouldn't play it on your iPad. Okay.
No.
Anyway,
so it said that the iPad didn't support that kind of video.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was going to be an issue.
But I didn't try it. I didn't try it in the Chrome app, although I don't think that'd make a difference.
Well, I can tell you this: in the Gear VR, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet.
Because you're standing there, and I've got the Chrome, the Gear VR on my face, and you know how what I just showed is with my mouse, I panned back and forth because that was my son playing tennis. And the ball's going back and forth like your typical tennis match, and so I'm going like this, watching it, and then I turn around and see my wife and the other parents sitting behind me, and it was something pretty cool. So that's the kind of thing that I really am going to look forward to doing. His next tennis match, I'm going to take the my GorillaPod and I'm going to put the camera on the little bench seat that they have right inside the tennis court, because no fans or coaches or even non-active players can come inside the tennis courts. That's kind of the rule of high school tennis. You know, you can't go in there. And so that's I want to be able to put that camera in there so that I can get the video from inside and the shots from inside, not having to have the fence in the way, because that fence makes it. I mean, you could see it was really nearly impossible to see the actual kids playing because of the way I had it. And pulling back, it doesn't have good focus like another camera. Like if you had a more advanced camera, you could set the focus, and if you had a real narrow depth of field, you could blur out even the fence, so you couldn't even see that fence. People don't know what a narrow depth of field. What I'm talking about is what's in focus. You know, a wide depth of field is pretty wide, but a narrow one, if you do that, if there's something you're not focused on, then it'll actually blur it. Well, if you're taking a shot of a picture and it's incredibly narrow, you can even blur out the fence where you don't even see the fence at all, as if it's not even there. And I've taken some shots like that, and they're pretty cool. But I want to be able to get this video with this thing. So anyway, that's the Ricoh Theta S, and yeah, it's not cheap, but the main reason I got it was to be able to use it with the VR. But I'm just enjoying, just these cool shots, like, this one. I mean, that's kind of a striking. I'm trying to share my screen again. That's kind of a striking image, I mean, I know that's just really weird looking, but anyway. Any other questions, you guys?
Oh man, that's really cool. I remember, like I said, I remember when Google's came out with Photosphere for the Android devices, and Microsoft was doing PhotoSynth.
Yeah, what was your question? You asked me a question about that earlier, and I sort of didn't really hear it.
Yeah, so how does it compare to those two? I don't know if you've used Photosphere on the Android devices, any, or if you use PhotoSynth on the Windows Phone device, because it's kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously not as much control and a little bit less dedicated video processing.
There is some way in which you can. I haven't looked into it yet, but somewhere on the Ricoh Theta S website, there's something about PhotoSynth, so that I think you can actually upload these to PhotoSynth somehow or something.
That would be cool.
I don't know, but I know I've taken PhotoSynth. I've not used the Google. I mean, on an Android phone, I've got my Galaxy S has where you can create a photosphere.
Yeah.
It's just like what Google does, only it's Samsung's version of it.
Mm-hmm.
But those you got to take a picture here and then here and then here and then here and here, and then you just moving sort of distorts things, and the resulting picture is never quite right. There's always some things. With this, this thing, you can see there's two lenses with an incredibly wide depth or field of view. Literally, this lens can take a picture and get my nose, and then the software that it's using to stitch this half of my face and that half of my face from the two different lenses is absolutely wonderful. Now, the resulting image isn't as sharp, so it's a little bit softer than those PhotoSynths from Microsoft, but I'm willing to put up with a little bit of that, because with this thing, here's the button on it. If I want, I can hold it up and I can just snap with one button, and I've taken all the pictures. It's getting all the way around in one shot.
Okay.
Or with the video, if I put it in video mode, seeing it's got these three buttons on the side here, that's the power button. This is the Wi-Fi button that turns on Wi-Fi so you can connect your phone to it. And then this is the photo video mode. You switch between photo and video mode with that. And then on the bottom, it has a mini HDMI cable, and that's what you're supposed to use to do the live streaming. And then, of course, that's the micro SD or micro USB cable, and then the threaded mount for a tripod.
What's the battery life while you're doing the recording, or does it have to be plugged in the whole time?
Well, it'll last the entire 25-minute recording.
Okay.
I have not tested that yet, but they do say that it will, and all the reviews said yes, it does have good battery life. By the way, it's got stereo sound right up there, if you can even get stereo sound from speakers that close to one another. But yeah, it works. I mean, it's just a really great product. If I could improve it, I would say I wish it had better lenses that would take sharper shots. But you know, it's $350. Samsung's getting ready to come out with their 360-degree camera, and it's going to be, the base price is going to be $500. There's a new one that just was released recently for professionals that's $40,000. So you know, we're getting something pretty cheap.
Nokia came out with one that's pretty
Nokia, that's
cheap,
it.
but yeah, theirs is amazing. They caused cinematographers to go redo their budgets.
That's
pretty
good. Outstanding.
So how long
before person is going to afford that? So
how long before it's on the iPhone?
Yeah.
Maybe
degree
the
photo.
iPhone 10.
iPhone 10 will have a 360-degree camera.
Surely.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe an attachment. If the LG, is it LG that's doing the attachment things?
Yeah.
You can slide in the bottom of it. If that takes off, maybe the others will follow suit, and maybe you can get a special camera attachment that'll slide into your iPhone. All right, well that's the Theta S. Unless you guys want to ask me something else. All right, who wants to jump in here now? By the way, Antoine joined us, LaRosea joined us during my going on and on. Good evening, LaRosea. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
We're glad to have you with us tonight, brother.
Yeah,
what you been up to these days?
It's been a busy few days. It was my parents' first time visiting Spokane, so got the show for them around town for the last week, and then kids just got dropped off, and so finally an evening to myself, which is nice.
Cool. Well, who wants to go next with their favorite thing? We're starting off with favorite things tonight, LaRosea. So
I can show you mine.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see here. If I'm going to show you my entire screen, I guess, because it doesn't show just the reflector app. Let me minimize this. Okay, can you see my iPad here? My iPad screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is an app called Dark Sky. A lot of folks probably already know about Dark Sky, and unfortunately the sky is clear right now, so it's not that great of a demonstration. But I'll show you a couple of photos of what it's like. But if you see this area right in here where it says heavy, medium, and light, if it's raining or snowing or anything like that, this will show you a chart on here. In fact, yesterday my wife I knew that she was here, but she was still out in her car, and so I asked her what she was doing. She said, "Well, it's raining." She didn't have her umbrella, and so I looked at Dark Sky and I sent her this, and I said, "Well, it's not going to let up anytime soon." This was the picture that I sent her. Dark Sky. Let me go to one of the photos in the App Store as an example. This will tell you, and it goes by your geolocation, so it's really uncanny how accurate that it'll be. From this example photo right here, what it's saying is that in about 15 minutes it's going to start raining, and it'll increase by a little after 50 minutes. It's going to be coming down pretty good, and of course it shows you for the day. Where I've used this a lot is when kind of like what I was trying to do with my wife yesterday is, I can look at something like this and sometimes it'll drop off significantly, and so I say, okay, I know that in 20 minutes it's going to stop raining. In fact, I did that in the car yesterday. I was in a parking lot and the rain was coming down. I didn't have an umbrella either, and so I pulled up Dark Sky, and it said that it was going to get down very, very light in about 5 minutes. And so I just sat in the car and I waited until that. And like I said, it's uncanny how accurate that it is. And that's the main thing that I use it for. You can certainly get highs and lows and show the day. Let me switch back to the app. And this by the way is the iPad app, which I thought would look better for our purposes tonight. But if I swipe over here, I kind of get the weather of and I can move this really to anywhere on the globe. But you see that little mark right there. It shows where I am in Kentucky, and I can take this, I can take this little scale at the bottom, and I can drag this forward any day any day going forward, and kind of get a prediction of where clouds are. And so fortunately, it looks like we're going to have clear skies the whole week. That was yesterday when it was over us. And then there's also, of course, real basic, gives you highs and lows for the week, and there's some things like that. It's not a heavy duty weather app, but kind of its killer feature is this ability to tell you when the rain's going to stop, or you can have it, I have it send me alerts when it's going to start. Like I'll get an alert saying, that it's going to start raining in, in 15 minutes or whatever. And so if I need to go do something, if I need to get something out of the car, or sometimes when we're traveling to pack the car or whatever, I know that that's coming up. There's also an Apple Watch app that I can get those alerts on my watch as well.
Yeah, and the app I've used this also, and I think the Apple Watch app is part of it is good too and useful. And you're right, it is very accurate. That's one of the things, and it's kind of attractive too.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not a heavy-duty weather app. You can find weather apps with more detailed information about the weather, but that one purpose that it does about alerting you as to when it's going to start, when it's going to stop based on your geolocation is very handy.
Do you see, because I'm a fan of the Dark Sky app. I've not bought it yet, and mainly because I'm like a duck. I love the rain. I don't mind getting caught in it. But I see apps like that, and I wonder, what's the future of weather predicting, weather forecasting? Because I mean, honestly, we all complain. I know it's a common Central Carolina, definitely a Charlotte issue. We always complain about how inaccurate the weather folks are. But Dark Sky is one of the few services that's really, really accurate.
And let me show you this right here. See this little section here where it says report weather. I tried to click on it. That's not going to work. Let me tap it on my iPad here. I can report the weather if what I'm seeing on my screen is not accurate to what I'm experiencing. I can report the weather as well, and so. I don't know. I guess that would affect other people around me. I hope. I don't know. But that's certainly a possibility as well.
Well, cool. Well, I see that we have a special guest with us tonight, and because of my mistake and failure, he's now just joining us, even though he was ready to go at 9 o'clock. This is Ernie Lail. Am I saying that right, Ernie?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I see from your phone identifier that you're in Gastonia, North Carolina. Is that right?
It's Kings Mountain, actually.
Kings Mountain. All right. Well, I'm just up the road
man, do
from
I know
you.
that neck of the woods.
I'm up in Valdez, but I lived in Dallas before moving to Valdez. And Antoine, who was the person just talking to you just there, he used to live in Charlotte. So we kind of flanked
okay.
Ernie Lail is with Maranatha Technologies, and he created an app that I got notice of called the Bible Markup App. And the reason I got notice of it is because I started checking out John Piper's videos called Look at the Book, and we'll put a link to those in our show notes. Look at the Book is a video screencast that John Piper does, and I'll share my screen real quick so you can kind of get an idea of what these videos look like. If I can get the thing, there we go. Trying to get technology to work tonight just seems to not be my friend, but that sort of looks like your app, doesn't it? Anyway, I've turned the sound down, but so what Piper does is he uses these to teach from passages, and he's using a screen recording with something else. But anyway, I've been told that he's using your app to do these. Does that look like it probably is so?
I don't think he's actually using that app. He's actually using a different app called New Annotate, where you can load up PDFs and annotate on top. but this is
okay.
basically inspired by basically what he's been doing.
Okay. Well, someone, I went and posted in a forum and said, does anybody know where John Piper, what John Piper's using to do these? And he said your app. And so that's why I believed that it was your app. So I went and downloaded your app from the App Store, which, here's the iOS version of it, and then
Right.
here is the Android version of it. So tell us about Bible Markup, what it does, why you made it, and just share with us about Bible Markup.
Well, I think the screenshot there kind of really identifies what it does. Basically, you can put in your Bible verse, and it'll pull up an entire chapter or the verse that you want to look at, and then you can highlight and mark up on top of the verse. But you can also modify the breaks of the Bible verse to kind of do a little bit of what John Piper does and what the guys at BibleArk.com do to break up the verse into propositional statements and to kind of trace the flow of thought.
I used that because I had thrown a verse in there for a lesson I was doing Sunday night at church, and it had only like 3 or 4 words per line, and I went and put it in landscape mode, and I wanted to get it bigger and everything on screen at once, and so I actually took away the breaks, but that's a good way. I didn't even think about that, so you could put a phrase per line in order to teach that way.
Yeah, and I actually use it a lot to, like if I'm teaching or if it's just a personal Bible study, just to kind of help me think through the verse. Because a lot of times we'll rush through, I'll just read a sentence without really thinking through the statements in the sentence.
So do you use it for personal study as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I had thought about doing that, but I was doing it more for presentation purposes myself. And here's the screen that you use to enter the passage. What translations can you use in English?
There's about 800. It's tons of different languages. I think out of the English, there's the King James, English Standard, New American Standard, and I believe there's another one that's like sort of an easy to read type version. I can't remember what it's not. It's not New Living Translation or the Message, but it's similar to that.
Yeah, I liked that it had ESV and NASB, and of course, a lot of people in my church use King James, and so I can see myself using that. But you enter in your passage here, and then it pops up on screen, sort of looking like this. And you said you can use this button down here to modify your page breaks.
Yeah, and that's what that screenshot's illustrating there. That you basically tap the spaces.
Okay, and then what does scale and move do? Down here at the bottom, what does the scale and move button do?
Oh, scale and move is basically, when you load up, that passage in particular, you're only looking at 5 verses, but you may load up a whole chapter, and you're looking at 20 or 30, 40 verses, and so you can scale and move through the whole entire chapter. So you may want to work on 2 or 3 verses one morning, and then come back and then work on 2 or 3 more, and just keep saving your progress as you work through the chapter.
Okay. And then when you're getting ready to mark it up, you've got all these different pens colors down here at the bottom. Is there a way, when you start getting it looking like this, for example, when I'm presenting and teaching with this, sometimes it gets where I've really marked it up and I'd like to clear it off, and I couldn't find a way to do that. Is it you hit the black button and it seems to erase, but you kind of have to do that with your pen or your pencil, your finger. Have you got a way that you can clear it all at once, or is that something you might add in the future if you don't?
Well, if it's something you're wanting to do as a temporary kind of thing, what you can do is just click the Modify Breaks button, and it basically removes all the markup.
Oh,
so you
okay.
can see the text without the markup on it. Yeah.
Okay, so hit Modify Breaks, and it'll get rid of all the tags.
Right.
Does it get rid of them permanently though, or just temporarily?
No, it's just temporarily. As soon as you click back on Draw or Scale, the marks come back.
Okay. All right, that would be a feature that I would request, is like a, maybe a button over here
Like a
saying
hide.
to get rid of all the markings at once, real
Yeah,
quickly.
that's a really good idea. I think I'll include that in the next update.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell us about? I noticed it says something about Strong's and lexicon and commentaries. What are those for?
And those, yeah, and basically what that is, those are hyperlinks to BibleHub.com. Actually, they've changed the URL structure a little bit right now, so they're broken. But when you click on that, it basically pulls up your passage in BibleHub.com so that you can look at the lexicon, the commentaries and stuff that's available there. So I tried to make it, I guess, as open source as possible without having access to any kind of API. That I had to do the best I could with what I had to work with.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you put that in there, because for those who do want to use it more like you're planning to do, and that is for personal study, that can be helpful. You guys got any questions for Ernie?
Sure. I was trying to follow along a little bit. I've got my iPad here, and I couldn't, initially I couldn't see the tab for modify breaks and some of the other, and what I discovered was when I turned it in portrait mode, the rest of the interface shows up. Is that on purpose, that part of the interface is hidden when it's in landscape mode?
It's and that's primarily for when you're doing presentation, because you can rotate it and it drops off everything. And there's even a little button down in the bottom left corner. You can hide even the tabs.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's available. Yeah. So it basically makes it to where your whole screen's nothing but a work area.
Okay, I got you. I got that. That threw me because I just about always have this. I've got an iPad Pro here. I just about always have it in landscape mode because I've got it on this keyboard. And so at first I couldn't figure out where's the interface on here. But I've got it now.
iPad Pro is meant to be used landscape.
Yeah, it really is.
That's the only other sort of feature request I would ask is if there's some way to have it so that you can always have it in landscape, even when you're entering the text. And that's up to you. It's easy to use it in portrait mode, knowing that that's the way it works. But I don't know if you remember when I first contacted you, I asked you a question about how do I get it to work in landscape or something like that, and I don't remember what I asked or how I asked it because it's been a little while. But but I don't have anything but an iPad Pro as well, so I'm always in landscape mode as well, except when I use this app for the beginning,
Yeah, I found it's becoming more and more common. I actually don't use mine in landscape mode, but a lot of the people that I talk to use it in the landscape mode, even just the 10-inch iPad. So that's something I'm probably going to work on in the future, to where maybe the menus drop down if you touch the top or something like that, to where it's not invasive, but it's available, like more available than it is now.
Okay. Another question: Can you access these Bible translations if you're not connected to the internet?
No, you actually have to be on the internet, because it all connects to Bible. I believe it's Bible Platform. It's a big Bible project that has tons of different translations, but unfortunately there's so many that there's no way to really include it all within the app.
Okay.
Do LaRosea or Antoine, did either of you have a question?
Yeah, I have aesthetically, you chose white text on a black background. Any reason for going that route?
Well, the eye strain, I don't really, and I based all this off of John Piper's labs, which I felt like that really helps you identify the text when you're circling and things like that. If it's white background and you're circling, it doesn't jump out, like with a black background.
Gotcha.
Any other future improvements that you're thinking about working on?
Yeah, I actually want to start adding like common verses or popular verses, or maybe like a verse of the week kind of thing, where folks that actually use this for a Bible study tool may have something. Oh, hey, this is a great Bible verse. I think I'm going to work on this one this week or today. So I would like to do something like that in the future. So that's kind of on the back burner, something I'm thinking about.
Okay, cool. All right, LaRosea or Antoine, Rick, any of you got any other questions about it?
No, no other
No.
questions. I do UI UX design. So I'm looking at it right now on an Nexus 5 as an example at the moment. So you got a real high pixel display. On the iPad, things are a little closer to normal size, if you will, size-wise. But I see on the Nexus, it's the links at the bottom. Modify, break, scale, and move, and the colors. They're just a bit smaller, not finger sized. So I wonder what you're going to do in the future to kind of adjust towards those items. But as a whole, I like the concept.
And
it's a really good concept.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I kind of geared it towards a 10-inch tablet. When you're working with a text like that, and you're working with a stylus trying to graphically circle and highlight, I've got a Note 4. Even with something like that, it's sort of difficult to really do work there. So I kind of geared it towards a 10-inch tablet because I felt like anything smaller than that is going to be cumbersome for the individual that's working with it.
Gotcha. Cool, man. Good stuff. Definitely good to see an application is built for people that are studying the Word, not just necessarily those that are just teaching it. So really applaud you for that.
Yeah, I was so
Thank you.
hyper-focused on the presentation, that I didn't even see it for personal study. I didn't even think about it for personal study at all, really. So I'm glad that that you talked to us, because I can see it now as more of a, when you're thinking through the text after you've done your word studies and commentary and stuff like that. This would be a cool thing to, or maybe even early on when you're doing your studies for inductive study.
Even earlier than that, Kev. You've got a studious, a Piper-like teacher. You need an app similar to this to keep up with them.
Yeah, just to import the text, and if someone's teaching, and you can mark it up and do that sort of thing. That would be interesting if it had if you could space the lines or something. I don't know if there's a way to do that. But I really like it. I'll tell you that's my column for Christian Computing Magazine. that doesn't exist anymore. I don't even know why I said that. Ministry Tech Magazine, which gobbled up Christian Computing Magazine a few months back. Anyway, for my Ministry Tech Magazine article for this coming up version, I'm submitting the article tomorrow, is about your app, so you'll be featured in that as well.
Yeah, I wish I had known about this app.
I'm flattered. I appreciate
about
that.
a month ago.
About a month ago, is that what you said, LaRosea?
Yeah,
Why's that?
I was doing some sermon prep, and I was trying to do markup just like this that this app can do. And what I ended up doing was taking a screenshot from Olive Tree, importing that into Evernote, and then just marking it up there.
Yeah, I've tried this before as well, using Notability, and this is much neater and cleaner and simpler. So I'll be using it going forward, and look forward to future updates and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely getting added to my workflow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys, I'm definitely on the suggestions. So if you guys have any, shoot them my way. Shoot me an email. You can get on my website, it's maranathatechnologies.com, and just shoot me an email link and let me know, any suggestions you have. Be glad to try to work them in, if it's something that's feasible.
Oh, I remember a question that I had, Ernie. I looked at Maranatha Technologies in the App Store, and you've got Bible apps and gun apps, it looks like. And so I wonder if maybe Maranatha was from the Maranatha in Revelation, and so maybe it's kind of tied in with the apocalypse and preppers or something.
No.
He's that guy that President Obama was talking about, clinging to his guns and Bible.
Right. No, I mean, I just I do enjoy shooting. So I enjoy be able to find ammo at a good price, so that when I'm out shooting, it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg. So I teamed up with the Ammo Seek guys to put together an ammo app. And so I am not a non-profit business, but I do make apps that are non-profit, if that makes sense, like Bible Markup. So there are some apps that I do that are for profit. And
I just thought it was a unique combination.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling for that. I'm actually putting out an educational app to help children with sight words. So I'm adding more into the mix, but yeah, it is kind of funny when you look at it because it's like Bible apps and guns.
Yeah.
Bible apps, sight words, guns. I think the guy's all about making sure that we recognize the right things. I think I see it.
Yeah, here on your site you've got your list of translations. Of course, here's the English. Is this you said there's a lot more than this, right? That's available, or
Yeah, that's actually an older list.
okay.
I think the
You
list
can
on the iTunes is accurate.
well, you can pull up the list from within the app. I did it a minute ago because you can switch translations.
Right.
Yeah, I was really amazed. There's actually the Chortee, which is a people group my church works with down in Honduras. I mean, and they're a very isolated people group, but they have their language translation on that Bible platform. I mean, it was just pretty
There
amazing,
are,
but that's in there too.
yeah, there are about 3,700 languages on the Bible platform right now. It's a really good project. Really, really good project.
I'm showing the Android version, which doesn't look at all different than the iPad version. So that's a nice thing. And it is free. We didn't say the price yet, but it is a free app, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I don't plan to charge for that at all.
Well, thank you for doing that. That's that's an excellent. It's not because I know it's obviously you've taken time and effort to put into it, but you're giving back, so to speak, and so we really appreciate that. How you helping us poor Christians out here build the kingdom together. And anyway, I really enjoyed using it, and so we wanted to feature you and let you get it out to
I
as many
appreciate
people as
that.
possible, and we're thankful and look forward to
And
other things coming
and
forward.
it works with the Apple Pencil.
Yeah, that's one thing.
But,
Sunday night I was doing our missions study at church, and before I got into the missions part of it, I did a short devotion on missions, and so I was using this for the first time before my church, and pulled out my pencil, and my pencil had lost its connection to, and I'm sitting here drawing. Wait a minute! So I just used my finger for the rest of the time. I was so disappointed. I was looking forward to using the pencil. Um,
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit there. Did you say the Apple Pencil was working
yes,
with it? Is that?
yeah, it works with it.
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested, and I'm shopping around right now, but I don't know if I'm brave enough to bite the bullet and buy the iPad Pro or not. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I bet it really helps versus a standard stylus.
It is. It's much nicer to use than a standard stylus. With your app, I mean, I enjoy it much more. Well, listen, we also have another aspect of our show, Ernie, that we call our favorite things, and so this sort of fits into it because this would have been my favorite thing even if you had not showed up. In fact, I held off using it the last time we did our show just because I invited you to come on, but I was wondering, I can't remember if LaRosea or Antoine, did either of you have your pick? What we do, Ernie, is we show off stuff. That's what we were doing when you came on. We were showing off things that we like to recommend to people. Since I messed up and got you here late, we decided to do those first. But Antoine, do you have one?
No, I don't have one
Okay.
this week. I said my wish list is my favorite one. Today's my birthday, so my wish list is really my favorite thing.
That's right. Happy birthday. Are you 19 now?
22.
22. Cool. LaRosea, have you got anything?
Yeah. Actually, my favorite thing is the iPhone SE. I was in the Apple Store yesterday because my dad, because they live in a military town, so there's no Apple Store anywhere nearby, so he wanted to kind of check it out. And so I took him to the Apple Store, and while he and my mom were looking around, I just happened to start playing around with the iPhone SE. And I've always thought of that size iPhone as just really too small for my huge hands. But actually taking the time to play around with it, it's a really great device and a really nice budget phone. Well, I mean, $500 for a budget phone. I mean, for the Apple device, yeah. budget
For an
enough.
Apple device, that's budget. Yeah. Is that what you have, Antoine?
Nah, this is a 5S, but it's the same
Oh,
size, same shape, same body.
you could have said yes and fooled us all, especially
I
under
could.
this resolution.
I could have, but it's not off. It's on my wish list, and you didn't get it for me yet. So
Was it just the size, LaRosea, that you were enjoying, or the size and the fact that it's the iPhone 6s guts?
Yeah, I mean, really just the size and then just the guts that are inside of it. And then there's no camera hump.
Oh, no camera hump. Yeah, that's a lot of people are very annoyed by that. Well, here I'm going to order one. Let's see. We're going to get on 18. Let's see, 64. I'm on T-Mobile, and it's only $500. So
yeah, $500.
where do I send this, Antoine? No, I'm kidding. I wish I could.
Address.
Being on the show, Ernie, you want one too? I'll get one for everybody.
All right.
Yeah, I'm actually considering buying one either just to have, or I've got a friend that needs a new phone, so I might actually buy one for them.
But you prefer the smaller phone over the Apple's newer offerings?
Yeah.
The 6 or I guess the 6S or the 6S Plus?
Well, it's Rick. It's the six. The SE is the 6S. It's
Yeah,
just a
well, I know,
5S body.
but I'm talking about the smaller size, though.
The smaller size.
I don't think I could go back to a smaller size. I mean, I even pick up my wife's. My wife's got the 6, and that's too small for me now.
But man, that is a very pocketable phone.
Well, yeah, it is, but
I personally speaking, I like the smaller size. I don't think a phone should stick out of my pocket. But I'm also a smaller guy, so I'm a average size guy, and so the 6S and the Plus, those are just monsters, and I don't like picking up monsters.
it's not too big, right? Does this make my head look small?
Look at that! Look at that!
And I've got these cargo pants from Duluth Trading, so I've got plenty of room.
Well, as you can tell looking at me, I am far from a small guy, and the 6S Plus is just perfect. In fact, I've always said that if I could, I would get an iPad mini with a phone built into it.
I think that would be ideal.
That's what I would use. What do you use, Ernie, for your phone?
I've got a Note 4. I'm more of an Android guy now that I've started doing developing.
Oh, okay, really? Why is that? I'm just curious.
Well, I don't know. This is the restriction of the OS. I mean, Apple's OS provides more security, obviously, but it's just nice to be able to, download and manipulate files and do things like that. And the security on all the certificates whenever you're publishing applications, just to test and debug, it's a lot more of a rigmarole.
Okay. Well, did you do the Android version of your app first and then do the iPad, or?
Yeah, that's typically what I do. Is I'll start out doing the Android version first, and then go to iPad and then finish it up. I mean, that's sort of my focus is iOS, but I usually do the initial debug on Android.
Okay, get it working. That's unusual because the few developers that I do talk to seem to prefer the other way, but those reasons though make sense to me.
Yeah, well, the language I use is cross-platform, so it's not like I have to recode it for the other OS.
What do you use?
It's ActionScript. It's Adobe Air.
Okay. Well, cool.
Ooh, very cool.
Well, guys, it's getting close to 10 o'clock, and that's usually about the time we try to say we're done. And so unless someone else has something they want to contribute tonight as a favorite thing or a pick or just some general news or announcements.
I just want to say that I peeked at Antoine's Amazon list, and he can tell us about it next week after he gets one, perhaps. This Canvas Pro Smart Desk looks really nice.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
It really does look. It really does look. It's a TV table for your iPad Pro.
Yeah. Which I do that already. I have just a standard lap desk that I put in my lap in the recliner, and then I have the iPad with the keyboard cover on it. But I don't know. That looks very nice.
I was glancing around and I saw it on an iPad Pro review, and it just looked well made. That's probably what caught my eye more than anything
It's
else.
going to be interesting to see all the peripheral devices that are going to come out for the iPad Pro.
Yeah.
I think I'm finding fewer and fewer pitches of people wanting me to review stuff for the iPad Pro, the large one. And I think it's because we're right now in the iPad Pro Junior release cycle. But this was happening, months before that, and I'm starting to think that it's not selling well enough for a lot of people.
Oh no, dude, they sell decently. I will say this about the Pro. It's not. You don't pick up an iPad Pro like you pick up a 9.7 inch iPad. It's not the same thing. It really is a laptop replacement, and at least for those persons that have the workflow around it, whether that's presentations. In my case, I'm actually designing software on it. Those kind of specific cases, the Pro works really, really, really well. For other cases, iOS might not be the type of platform to be that big with, at least not yet.
Well, I don't think the numbers are bearing what you just set out, because Apple's not bragging on the numbers. And I think
it's not really a consumer device.
I'm sure that the 9.7 iPad Pro is going to outsell the 12.9, but the 12.9 is a very important size to have.
It's a decent size.
It's the pros. It's for pros. So, by the way, I'll just tell you, my issue of losing. I don't think I've ever said this on the air. I lost my Apple Pencil, and this right now I think is the best solution, sadly, for keeping your Apple Pencil from getting lost, unless you want to put it in a box like the one you said you got, Rick.
Look, it's right here. That's where this works really great for me, because I put my pencil in right there, and then even when I have it all folded up, it makes it even puts it at an angle if I lay it flat. It works out quite well.
So okay.
I mean that's just perfect.
You sent me a link a while back.
Yeah.
And I think you thought you sent me that link, but that's not what I saw on the link that you sent me.
Well, this is a back case, and it's got this little holder that's connected into it.
What is that called?
Case Buddy.
That's not what you sent me when I asked you.
Is it not what I sent you?
No,
Cover Buddy. Cover Buddy. That's what it's called.
No, you sent me it looked like a box. It looked like a pencil box, basically.
I'll send you a different link for this.
Is it from Switch Easy?
I don't remember, but I'll find. I ordered it on Amazon. I'll send you the exact link.
Well, this looks like it might be it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. It's wonderful, and I'd much rather have that than a little sticker stuck on the side with a little holder for the pen, because I think that would get lost.
I bet this costs a little bit more than $7.99.
I think it costs less than $20.
Does it really?
Yeah, it was not expensive.
Wow. Oh, I'm ordering one of these. Oh, it's $40 here.
Well, maybe it was. I don't remember. I'll double check. I can't remember what I paid. But I got it. I've been looking for some kind of solution, and so as soon as I saw that, I was looking for two separate solutions. I was looking for something to do with the pencil, and then I was also looking for a clear back cover, and that was 2 in 1. I should have done that as my favorite thing, but I thought I'd already talked about it. I don't know.
No, I don't think you've talked about that, because I would have remembered seeing.
If I could find one like that, Rick, that fits my 53 pencil, I would probably go for it. Because having a clear back cover for the Pro, I've not been pleased with any of the ones I've seen so far. So I'll have to look around.
Well, guys, I think that does it for us tonight. And again, Ernie, we appreciate you coming and joining us and being with us on the show, and look forward to great things from Bible Markup. And the rest of you guys, thank you also. We appreciate it. And just as I always, my spiel at the end of the show every week, go and subscribe to us on YouTube Find the link through theotek.com. If you want to listen, you can always listen or watch on theotek.com, usually within, anywhere from 2 days to 4 weeks, depending on me. No, normally it's about a week, less than a week, 2 or 3 days afterwards I'll get it all posted and ready to go. Or you can subscribe to the audio version through almost any podcasting app, including iTunes and Stitcher Radio and other places. We hope you'll subscribe, and we hope you'll share and let people know about it, tweet about it, and help other people if you enjoy the show. And if you're still watching or listening by this point, you must enjoy it. Either that or you're a strange masochistic person who wants to punish your ears. But we're glad that you're with us anyway. And so let other folks know about it. And hit us up with some email or comments on the videos or at the bottom of the Theotek page. If you have any questions or suggestions, or if you do a Bible app, something like what Ernie does, let us know about it. We're always looking for cool stuff to let people know about it. Not just Bible apps, but anything that's related to church and Bible technology in general. But this is Theotek Podcast, signing off. Good night.
Good night.